All right, in the second 3-4 video, we're just going to look at some application type stuff, some real world problems. So when you're solving problems that have 3 variables, we can use that same plan to organize all the information that you have. So we're just going to start by identifying the variables and what they represent, and then we can make our equations. Okay, so if we read through, we've got 49,000 seats. It's got prices for all the tickets. It's got the number of seats. These combined equal the upper level. When all seats are sold, we get this revenue. How many seats are there in each level? So you want to come up with the variables and what we're missing. So we've got bottom level, upper level, middle level. So we are going to make our variables. We'll do a U for the upper level, an M for the middle level, and a B for the bottom level. That is going to be the number of tickets in each section. Okay, so number of tickets in the upper level, number of tickets in the middle, and number of tickets in the bottom section. So those would be our 3 variables. So kind of read through. So we should have 3 equations, 3 variables, 3 equations. So there are 49,000 seats in a sports stadium. So that means seats in the upper plus seats in the middle plus seats in the bottom section end up being a total of 49,000. Tickets for the seats. Okay, so upper sell for 25. So the revenue will be 25 times each upper ticket plus 30 times each middle ticket plus 35 for each bottom ticket. And then a couple rows down here, we end up with the revenue, and that is 1,419,500. Okay, so this one represents the total number of seats, this one represents the cost, and then this sentence right here gives us some extra information. So the number of seats in the middle and bottom levels together equals the number of seats in the upper level. So the number together, that means when you add them together, so the middle and bottom together end up equaling the number of upper seats. Okay, so for this one, it's super important to have them all in this like standard form, where you have them all in a row. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract this u from both sides. Okay, so I'll have negative u plus m plus b equals 0, which makes sense. If I take m and b together and then subtract u, I'll end up with 0 tickets because they're equal. So I have my 3 equations here. This is a and b and c. So if we look to eliminate, you can see if I eliminate a and c, the u's are going to cancel right out. So that's a really good place to start. So let's start by combining a and c. So I don't have to make any changes because I already have opposite values for u. Okay, so these will cancel. When I combine these, I have 2m, 2b, and then this is just 49,000. And remember, I'm going to come back for this, so I'm going to label that D. Now we'll make some sort of other combination that will also eliminate the U. Okay, so since this is already negative, we might as well use that one. This is positive 25. Let's make this negative 25. So we're going to keep B just the way it is, and then we're going to multiply all of equation C by 25. Okay, so multiply this whole thing by 25. So negative 25u plus 25m plus 25b equals, and then 0 times 25 is still 0. So that's a nice equation to work with. So we get the u's to eliminate again. Add these, I get 55m. Here I get 60b. And then again, working with 0 is really nice. Okay, and that is equation E. So we will be using that in this next step. So here are my 2 equations that I get to work with. So now we solve this system. We need to solve for either M or B first. If we look at 2 compared to 55, I'd have to multiply both of these, whereas with the B's, this is already even. So this is positive 60. I can make this negative 60 by only multiplying this one. So we're going to keep E exactly the way it is, and we'll multiply this by a negative 30, so we can get it to be negative 60. Okay, so we're running short on space here. I apologize, I'm just going to keep things small. Okay, so everything here I will multiply by a negative 30. So we will have negative 60M, negative 60B, and then I'm just going to plug this in, just so I don't try to do things in my head. So 49,000 times negative 30. Okay, so big numbers there. So when all said and done here, these will cancel. I will have a negative 5M equals, and I'm again going to use my calculator for this. Okay, so we get negative 50,500. Okay, so we're going to just run into the title here a little, divide both sides by negative 5. Okay, so we end up with M equals 10,100. All right, so that is the number of tickets in the middle section. All right, so now we can take that and plug it into maybe D, just because those are lower numbers to work with. So 2M, if I double this, I get 20,200 plus 2B. Sorry about the space here. This is not very well utilized. And then subtract the 20,200 from both sides. Okay, so I get 2B equals, and then I can take 49,000 and subtract 20,200. Now we'll get 28,800, and then divide both sides by 2B. I'm sorry, by 2 to get the B by itself. So B equals, I get 14,400. That's the number of seats in the bottom section. And then for the upper section, I can go off of this equation right here. So I know for the upper section, all I have to do is add the middle and the bottom section together. So if I just add these together, 10 and 14,000, I get 24,000, 100, 400, gives me 500. All right, so let me just kind of show you something real quick, especially when we're dealing with story problems, how you can double check all of your work. So let's go through all of these. There are 49,000 seats in a sports stadium. Let's double check. So 10,100 plus 14,400 plus 24,500. So that is true. We get the right number of seats. And then let's check the revenue. So $25 per upper level ticket plus $30 per middle level ticket plus $35 per bottom level ticket. And that's the right revenue. That's exactly what they had. And then we already know that the upper is just adding these two together because that's how we found the upper. So we know we're correct because we just checked all our info.